Welcome to this brief video where I'll borrow an idea from Chinese astrology to help you memorize some names and relationships in Western astrology. If you're just starting out in your astrological studies, you'll realize there's an enormous amount of learning by heart to be done, beginning with the names of the signs and their properties. The verbal mnemonics that I've seen don't appear to be very memorable on their own, and don't really help you advance in terms of the properties of the signs. So let's see if we can borrow some ideas from Chinese astrology. The Chinese astrological system is based on 10 heavenly stems and 12 earthly branches. I did an introduction to these symbols in some videos, which you can find referenced in the description section below. An interesting point is that historically some astrologers were blind in China, and they used their hands for astrological calculations. Before I go on, I have to say there's absolutely no relationship between these two astrological systems. For blind astrologers, each one of the 12 earthly branches corresponded to either a finger joint or a fingertip, as you can see in this picture. This relationship was often simplified as shown in this diagram. Let's see how we can put this to use to help us in Western astrology. First, let's look at how the Chinese mnemonic is organized. The order starts where you see the orange circle, which corresponds to the winter solstice. For us, the key point in this pattern is the bottom left-hand corner, which corresponds to the first month of the Chinese New Year, or the start of spring according to the Chinese calendar. If we make this our starting point, linking it to the sign of Aries, we will see a number of convenient features play out. Also, we have to make another small adjustment between the two systems, as the earthly branches are considered clockwise. The signs of the zodiac are arranged in a counterclockwise manner. So for this system, the metacarpophalangeal joints would represent Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer from left to right. Let's focus on the corner signs, as they're particularly useful reference points. Aries is of course the first sign in the zodiac. We can see that its polar opposite, Libra, can be found on the opposite corner. Libra, or the scales, is the seventh sign, the sign where the seasons are balanced, and the starting point of the second half of the zodiac. And you should be good at balancing things on your little finger in any case. The same can be seen with the other two corners. Cancer and Capricorn are also polar opposites. Cancer and Capricorn are the signs of the summer and winter solstices, as Aries and Libra are the signs of the two equinoxes. In fact, you can now easily determine the polar opposite of every sign, and this will be useful in determining the ruler and detriment when we get to the planets. If you're still not familiar with the signs and their order, here are a couple of useful hints. You can easily remember the position of Sagittarius, the archer, by imagining your hand as an arrow. As this is the longest finger, you can remember that this is the sign that is ruled by Jupiter, the king of the gods of Rome, who used to hurl fiery thunderbolts. If you hold your hand level, you can cleverly remember the positions of Leo, Virgo, and Libra. The A and the P of Capricorn will give you the position of Aquarius and Pisces. Let's get back to the four corners, which represent the signs with cardinal qualities. The corners give you quick access to the quadruplicities, or the qualities associated with each sign. From here, it's not difficult to determine which are the fixed and mutable signs. The triplicities, or elements corresponding to the signs, can also be easily determined if we remember the element corresponding to each corner sign. Aries, the god of war, as fire, and Cancer, the crab, in water, are particularly easy to remember. Aries and its polar partner are upward bearing, so we can remember that Libra is an air sign. Cancer and its polar partner are downward bearing, so we can remember that Capricorn is an earth sign. Remembering the planets ruling each sign presents another challenge for a beginner. In ancient times, only 5 planets were visible to the naked eye: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Ancient astrology only used these planets together with the Sun and the Moon. Since the discovery of Uranus in 1781, and then of Neptune and Pluto, modern astrology has assigned these planets to 3 signs. Seeing the pattern associated with the ancient system will facilitate learning the newer system of rulership. Leo was assigned to the Sun, probably as a median between the hottest and the longest days of the year. It was paired with the Moon in Cancer. After that, we see pairings for the planets visible to the naked eye. The planet order follows their apparent speed of motion in the sky and the proximity of their orbit to the Sun. Mercury, the closest and fastest planet, was assigned to both Gemini and Virgo. Venus, the next closest, was assigned to Taurus and Libra, and so on up to Saturn. The newly discovered planets were assigned by breaking up the more distant pairings. Uranus was assigned to Aquarius, Neptune was assigned to Pisces, and Pluto was assigned to Scorpio. One way to remember this new assignment is to see that Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are directly opposite Leo, which is ruled by the Sun. I've already mentioned that Jupiter, the king of the gods, corresponds to the longest finger. You can probably come up with your own associations to memorize the remaining rulerships. One more useful set of mnemonics we can pull out of this system concerns certain planets' strengths, that is to say their rulership, exaltation, detriment, and fall. Looking at the relationships with the first 8 astrological bodies, there is no immediate pattern. However, if we separate out the relationships that lie along the quadruplicities or qualities, we can find some useful material. 4 planets have their strengths laid out in the quadruplicity pattern. In particular, 2 planets have their strengths on the 4 corners that we have focused on in this video. Mars, the Roman god of war, is ruled by Aries, the Greek equivalent. The detriment lies in Libra, the fall in Cancer, and the exaltation in Capricorn. Saturn is ruled by Capricorn, with its detriment in Cancer, its fall in Aries, and its exaltation in Libra. Uranus is ruled by Aquarius. Its detriment is in Leo, its fall in Taurus, and its exaltation in Scorpio. Mercury is ruled by Gemini. Its detriment is in Sagittarius, its fall is in Pisces, and its exaltation is in Virgo. For a mnemonic here, you can see that the initial letter of the planet's strengths can make up the name Fred. To form this acronym, you have to go clockwise for Mars, Saturn, and Uranus. For Mercury, you have to go counterclockwise. So perhaps you can use the sentence, "Mutable Freddie Mercury is the exception." I hope you found this video useful, and if you can pull any other useful mnemonics out of this system, please put them down in the comments section below. Remember to subscribe to join me for other videos in this series.